Hello and welcome to this new episode of Coming Home, live after semester at sea. My name is Viviana Premazzi. I was Intercultural Communication Specialist for Voyage 134. Together with me, there is DeCaro, ASL Interpreter. And today we have a very special guest from our faculty, our own marketing professor, Dr. Sven Tuzovic. We're very happy. He's also a very good friend of mine, so I have to confess. But people know, if the people who are in our Voyage, they know we became very good friends. So welcome, Sven. It's a pleasure to have you here. Do you want to start introducing yourself?
Thanks, Viviana. It's a pleasure to be with you and to be part of this new project that you guys have come up with. I think it's a great idea. Yes, so my name is Sven. I'm a bit of the maybe odd faculty members because of my background. I'm German, but I work in Australia. I have lived in the US, and that's how I got to know about Semester at Sea. I've known about SAS for 15 years, and I was very excited to actually to be selected and to join SAS on Voyage 134. And
Thank you.
I should say, I teach marketing.
Yeah. Thank you. And maybe for the people that are watching and they don't know what Semester at Sea is, especially for faculty, if you want to just like in your own words, what's Semester at Sea?
Yes, so I would describe it in different ways. So first of all, just call it a floating campus. You can call it a university on a ship. And also you can consider as a multicultural study abroad program on steroids. So essentially you are studying, but not just in one single country. You are studying in 10 different countries over 3 months, where students are exposed to multiple cultures, multiple experiential learning opportunities. So I think it's one of the best opportunities that students can ever sign up for, and even that faculty can do as well.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's interesting because they're all ways to describe it. That's really when you have done, they make even more sense than before going. So that's very interesting. And then what was SAS for you? Because I think it's interesting, and I didn't know it was like 15 years for you, that like you knew and then you apply. So then you did it. And what was for you?
So I think it was a massive adventure. So I would say it's the biggest adventure both in my professional career, but also from a personal perspective. I have never been on a cruise ship before, so just the idea that I would live on a cruise ship for 3 months and be on the ocean, I wasn't sure how I would react to seasickness. So I was very lucky that I never got seasick. Professionally, I think it's one of the biggest challenges because you have to adapt in so many different ways. I was very fortunate to lead several study abroad programs with students, both at PLU, in Tacoma, and also at QUT. But this is a much bigger challenge. You are teaching on a ship, the ship moves. Students might be disengaged because they are like watching whales outside while you're trying to teach like content. You are designing field classes for students to take them into different countries that you might not be familiar with. And then it's a massive challenge, but it's a very rewarding challenge. So you don't really know who you're going to meet on the ship. And I think we had such a great atmosphere, such a great camaraderie over the last voyage. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I will miss.
So you actually anticipate my next question. That is actually when like we came back, it's like 2 months now or even more. What do you miss the most?
So I would say personally, I really enjoyed the peacefulness every morning watching the ocean. I got up pretty early. I went to the gym, tried to do it regularly, but pretty much every morning I went outside and just before sunrise, watching the ocean, the peacefulness. There were only a few other people up at the time who were walking or who were working out in the gym. So you see the same people basically, and then you go to have breakfast. So I think this was one of the most enjoyable things, and that's what I really miss now being back on land.
I agree. Yeah, there also they seem small things, but actually they are really what make the difference. Like
Yeah.
this, yeah. I think also Mark shares something similar, like being at sea and watch like the sunrise or the sunset, or just watching the ocean. How also bring you peace of mind that maybe you can not find on land, even if you live close to the sea. Thank you.
Yes.
For this.
Yeah.
Another question I know is a difficult one, but what's one or more of your favorite memories that you want to share?
So there are so many different memories in different countries, but one of the most favorite ones I would say was when I organized a group dinner for several of us of the faculty and the staff, or faculty. And so I became sort of like the unofficial organizer for um, exclusive dinners, finding really interesting restaurants in different locations. So a friend of mine gave me this recommendation in Mauritius. And first of all, it was a big task to get everyone on board. So we were like 9 people, trying to, of course, make sure that everybody is happy with the menu. And then, so we walked off the ship in Mauritius, and there's no like rideshare app that you can use like in other countries. Instead, you are basically greeted by a number of different taxi drivers who all want to offer their services for their cash. And it was a bit of overwhelming, and we were 9 people. So first it seemed we would need 2 taxis, and then there was like this big guy who said like, okay, if you want to come with me, like, okay, you have to squeeze in like a minibus, maxi taxi. So essentially, we were like 9 people squeezed into one big car. And so this became really like a bonding exercise. It was quite fun. And then the dinner turned out to be absolutely fantastic. We had such a great meal. I'm really thankful for my friend who recommended this place. And so after dinner, we had to get right back. And the same taxi driver, he was like waiting there the whole time. And we squeezed all back into the same car, driving back to the ship. So I think this was, yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah. And well, you were saying this. I was thinking that I still have the number of my, and I'm actually following my Mauritian taxi driver on Instagram because that was one of the best
Yes.
experience. They were really amazing. So yeah. And I like was not part of the question, but I know you draft this list of all the roles that you had and you play on semester at sea, and this is something also unexpected when you embark. So can you tell us? How many roles did you play on the ship?
Oh my God, it's so difficult to say. I mean, there are so many. Of course, you are teacher, you are mentor, advisor, but you become a tour guide, um, not just a tourist, but basically during field programs, you are leading other faculty or students in different locations. So you have to be a tour guide. Then one of the funnest moments was also that the the ship was asking basically for a ship family. Students wanted to have more engagement with other faculty. So I became a ship dad of a small group of students. So this was a lot of fun as well. I never thought about this basically. So, and then you're participating in the Sea Olympics. You're part of like an athlete competing on a ship. It's like, yeah, so much fun.
Yeah, a volleyball player, a basketball player, and
Yes.
many more. They are facilitator group for the group discussion facilitator. So yeah. Thank you. So now then we came back, and one of the reasons why we're doing this is also that most of us have like like we had different experience coming back, but for sure there are maybe challenges that we are facing, can be like professional, academically, social, personal. How was for you coming back? And if there is any challenge that you feel to share that maybe others went through the same?
Yes, so I understand the challenge of coming home and having a reverse culture shock. I was a young student and I studied in high school in the US, and I was coming back to Germany and was feeling basically really bad. So this was like my first moment when I had this experience of a reverse culture shock. I think now, many years later, it was probably not so difficult for me to return. But I also think there are several reasons for this. First, I changed my return flight. Initially, I was supposed to fly back just before Christmas, and all my friends had plans for Christmas, and I didn't want to stay alone basically for Christmas. So I decided to stay a few more days in Bangkok after the voyage ended. And I think this was a really helpful bridge because I was still spending time with my semester at sea friends. And it was sort of like a bridge basically between the voyage and then the normal life that you would have back on land. So I think this was really helpful to almost decompress, being back on land, but not being back in your normal life. When I came back to my place, well, a friend of mine picked me up at the airport late night. That was nice, so I wasn't like in the need to just catch a taxi. The next day I was catching up with a friend, so this helped also to come back and talk basically with someone. But this was then just before New Year's Eve, and I remember on New Year's Eve I wasn't able to join any friends, so no one was around. And it was a bit depressing because I basically just went to the river on my own, saw the fireworks, and then went back home. So this was kind of not what I was hoping for, but I also didn't give it too much thought because I had such a good time over the previous months. So I figured, okay, it's New Year's Eve, it doesn't really matter. Um, After that, basically in the new year from January, I was quite busy at work. So I was preparing for my MBA class that started mid-January. So I had like EMBA class over a weekend. So I was sort of like basically pressured back to prepare my class. So I think that's where you are distracted. But I did realize basically I was missing the normal things on the ship basically. Someone is cooking for you, someone is doing the laundry, someone is doing your bed, and now you're back here in town and you have to do everything yourself. So the normalities, which at some point it was a bit annoying. And so I was always following the new voyage because I still wanted to be in touch. So of course I was staying in touch with you, with other friends through like group chats on WhatsApp. But I remember I was basically every day just looking at Cruise Mapper to figure out where was the new voyage and looking at also their Instagram pictures to see what was going on. So I was really missing something. There was like a gap that I had. It didn't make me feel too negative, so I was still able to deal with it. Um, there was like a gap and I was missing something and I was sad, but then also I was relying on my network. So of course, through like you, your like my friends from SAS on WhatsApp, but also my local friends here. So I was really glad to catch up with my friends, to see them because I've missed them for a long time, and also to be back in my own place, which I really missed as well. So this was one of the very nice things I was looking forward to.
Thank you, and thank you. I think you touched like many points that are important, and like one is for sure like relationships on the ship that we miss, but also our network and our like relationship back home. And for sure this is like a great resource to match with the challenge of like missing those other like relationship and new relationship.
Yes.
And we are lucky also because of all, let's say, the online resources. We can stay in touch, we can post picture, we can like and support each other, or we're kind of one Zoom call away. And then also something that someone has suggested, kind of this like buffer zone, or this time between like living and like dramatically ending an experience and then going back to your normal life. So that's also a very nice suggestion and advice. Any other like strategy or resource that you think you used? And one I think I can suggest is like, you were one of the first of booking like new trips, like work-related trips,
Yeah.
but still have to plan some kind of reunion. So any other ideas,
Well,
strategies?
I think one of the ideas, I guess, for like students or faculty, I guess someone who comes back home and who struggles, I think, is trying to write it down and maybe have a diary that you already like took or that you kept on the ship, and then continue to work on it. So make a blog out of it maybe now. So you can go back to look into your pictures and see that you can create something that will last for a longer time. All your pictures might just disappear somewhere on your hard drive. And so I'm still actually in the process where I feel like I want to do something with my pictures, and even just like sorting them is taking so much time, and then normal life gets in between, basically. So I think you really have to plan for this some time, call it a project, and have a specific plan. What do you want to achieve? So for me, I think one of the aspects was I wanted to have some kind of research and stay connected. So that's why I was looking for conferences where I could submit parts of my experience basically and share my experience with others. So next week I'm heading over to LA, where I have a conference, the Marketing Educators Association. And so I will actually meet Rose, our academic dean, and you will be part of this as well, coming via video. So I think that's really nice, where we have some output basically afterwards.
Yeah. Thank you. And I think this is also something very, very important. And also some students share this. Of course, if you're coming in with a plan, or in any case, you have some idea also, how do you want and what do you want to get out of the experience, that's also very helpful. So you don't find yourself like lost at the end. What's I'm gonna go, what's I'm gonna
Yes.
do with all of this. Thank you so much. These were my questions for today. I know we have also one kind of existential question that for sure our faculty will share. That's where's Sven? So Sven was here today, so we were lucky to see him. And then thank you very much, Sven. Thank you, Emma, and thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you for the next episode. Bye.
Thanks so much, Viviana. Thank you. Bye-bye.